not sure. Bear with me, Ingrid, for 1 second. Thank you. And I am not sure. So we are going to see. We are going to see. And I'll bet you it's not because of.
Oh, it says live.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. That's the easy part. But is it going where it needs to go is the interesting part. All right, Ingrid, go ahead and go back to Restream.
I don't think we have to do this anymore.
This is none of that's right. Are you really sure it was me?
Yes.
My email.
It's supposed to go to Restream on its
So there's
own.
9 people.
Yes.
Okay, so it is streaming.
Yep, here they are.
Okay, thank you guys. All right, are we? So go ahead and send the guests today. We're gonna have to. We're not gonna start over. It is what it is. That's the beauty of a live show.
Go ahead, keep talking.
I was just
don't pay
checking to see
attention
if
to me.
we were live.
Yeah, no, we are live. Actually, I was just
Okay.
about to do that now. And are we?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. That sucks. What just happened? Okay, we are streaming. Sorry about that, guys. I'm not sure what's going on. We're going to go ahead and get started here in a second. I just want to make sure everything is up and running the way it should be. And I can't see anything. Now, I did change one
This
thing.
is really weird, too. Because,
What's-
like, it's just the computer's acting odd.
Well, it might be because of something I did change.
What did you change?
I'm going to explain once we get Ingrid. Okay, so no, hold on. It's playing the intro right now,
What?
not our actual live. So I feel like,
Yeah, there's some kind of delay.
That's a pretty big delay.
yeah, I think I know why,
What?
and we're going to get through this. But once you're done doing what you're doing,
Am I?
because
using
I
the
really don't feel like explaining it anymore.
same- That's fine.
That's okay. You can just fix it.
Right. We'll pay attention to Ingrid. Yes, please pay attention to Ingrid. And so what I did is I changed some settings, and apparently maybe that's what's caused the problem. What's going on here?
What?
That scares me.
What?
How taunt.
Oh.
Yeah, can you fix that, please?
Okay, I'm
Um,
having problems here with the computer. I don't know what's going on. I got to do this over.
There we go.
It might be time for a new computer.
Oh my god.
So I upped
You
the
could also-
streaming quality
Ah.
because I noticed watching the playback out in the lobby,
Uh-huh.
it's not very good. It was 720, and I was like, oh, we're back to the 90s. And I thought maybe we should kick it up to at least 1080. So we are, okay, I think the computer had, okay, it's working now. Don't explain, man. Splain. All right, so hey guys, welcome to Video Chicken. We are live, I think. Ingrid is all over the computer right now trying to get our guests in from Grubbly Farms. They were all ready to rock and roll. They were sitting in the green room and then lost them. So I have no clue. Okay, so it looks like we are live, and hopefully we sound good. Hopefully everything's looking good. No idea what's happening, but hopefully it actually looks better because I did up the streaming.
So they're saying that Facebook is like delayed and
Well, Facebook sucks.
yeah.
So
Stop watching on Facebook.
yeah, that might be why.
It's nice to get the alerts there, but
Yes.
Just-
Yeah, let's check out Facebook. Yeah, I don't know. I think everything's working. I think we're in a rock and roll.
So David,
There they are. So let's go ahead and bring Patrick and Sean back into the green room from Grubbly Farms. We're going to get started here. And that is just the beauty of live TV. Things do not always go the way you think they are.
So David asked if the teas are on the website yet. I really wanted to get them on this week, but I don't have them on this week.
If the teasers,
The T-shirts.
t-shirts, sorry.
Yeah, there's still like pricing issues and inventory that I haven't gotten. And then I was crazy busy. But yeah, we got other stuff on the website.
You are always busy. All right, so we're going to go ahead and get started. I think everything is working now. Guys, I apologize about that. That hasn't happened in a long time.
Yeah, I'm getting like flashbacks. I'm traumatized.
So we are live. It is, I was about to say February. I am losing my mind. April 28th, 2023. Today, we have guests from Grubbly Farms. So we're going to be talking a lot about a certain type of bug, one of my favorite subjects. And Sean and Patrick will be joining us, I think maybe in about 5 minutes now. So we'll go ahead and get the audience to build back up. There are a lot of things I need to go over today, guys. And I need your help, as always, but I just want to make sure everything looks good before I get going and make sure that the audience is building up. So please, speaking of building up the audience, do everything you can to help share the show, promote the show, say hi. If you don't have any questions, wave. Let us know where you're watching from. But, of course, as always, if you have any questions, please leave them in the comments section or comments. And I think we're going to be getting a lot of comments today.
Yeah. They have a great story. Their whole, I sent that to Kristen because I read it. I knew you wouldn't read it.
I don't read.
I know. But I just think it's a great story. It's a great company. I've been buying from them forever. So since the beginning of my chicken journey. So.
Okay, so we got 50 people in here now. Hopefully the show will double in the next couple minutes. Yeah, that was a rough start. So I need some help. We're going to have some conversations, and I'm not sure what the feedback is going to be, but that's why I'm going to do it. I need the feedback. I'm going to share with some people what we're going to be doing May 17th.
Oh, great.
Yes. So we were contacted by I believe he's famous, a famous DIYer that's on national TV doing DIY shows. I never heard of him, unfortunately, but I don't watch those DIY shows. So in my defense.
Yeah, because you are a DIYer.
That's right.
Yeah.
I guess so. And he asked us if we'd be willing to have him show off our product or products, in this case, our chicken coops, on a particular show.
Morning show?
A morning show. And he said it's the most popular morning show. And, you know, I hope I'm allowed. This is going to be one of these things I'm not sure if I'm allowed to say or not.
They didn't say not to.
So
right?
I have to tread lightly. It's a show that I got to assume people either love or hate. And what I want to do is ask people, are there going to be people out there? And if you're this person, please let me know. If you're like, Matt, if you do that, I'm going to unfollow. I'll never watch your show again, which sucks. But I can understand that everyone has the right to do what they want, which I'm a huge fan of. But it was a concern, and I think it's still going to be the right call. So I'm going to explain the show that our products are going to be on. We won't be on, but they're going to be showing off 3 of our coops and some of our accessories. And one of the coops, I need some help. Mm-hmm. One of the coops, I need some help on picking out a paint color, a roofing color. And I thought it'd be fun if everyone can give some feedback to the question. Okay, so you got to listen to all my words carefully. So to get started, we have been asked to be on Fox and Friends. We have been asked to bring 3 of our chicken coops, small, medium, large, so that a gentleman by the name of Skip Bedell, who is a famous DIYer, to show off our coops. And I thought, you know what, that would be awesome. It's a great opportunity, but I get some people either love Fox and Friends or they hate Fox and Friends, which again, I want to say for the record, you're entitled to that. That's awesome. We're going to have a California coop. We're going to show off a 6x American coop, and we're going to show off an 8x Carolina coop. Yeah, I wish I was replacing Tucker. Anyways, so the California coop that's going to be on display is going to be, we're going to show off natural. It's going to be all wood, oiled, black roof, black hardware. It's going to be really slick. The Carolina coop, the 8x18, is going to be one of our most common, famous color schemes, and that's all white with the black roof, black hardware, T-hinges, gate latches, things like that. The one in the middle, our number one seller, the American coop.
Is that going to be the two-tone?
I think we should do two-tone. Mm-hmm. I thought, we got to display. We got 5 minutes. To show off as much as we can. And God knows I got my opinion, and I love my favorite colors, but it doesn't matter what I think. Most of the time. Some of the time. I would love to hear from the audience. If you were watching any live show and we were to show off our coops, which we're going to be, what color that middle coop should be. And I've been thinking about doing a two-tone. It's going to be an American. And my thought process was, okay, we got the natural. We got the classy look, okay, the white and black. In the middle, I thought, you know what, let's do what's trending, which I'm not a fan of. But doesn't that make sense for live TV? What's trending or no?
What's trending in color?
Yeah.
Let me know.
Gray is always trendy.
Here we go. So let me know, should we do what's currently trending, which I've been told is gray and blue. And I like blue. I can't stand gray color.
I don't think gray.
No.
What color roof are you going to do?
Hey, tell me what color roof we should do.
I like all those earth tones.
I thought about going natural.
Yeah, I mean, we have a natural coop, but I just mean we get a lot of feedback on Eric's coop with Epic Gardening. You know, that's an earth tone. Kevin, I'm sorry. And that green one, is it Coastal Plain?
Coastal Plain.
People love that one.
Oh, yeah, that one's good.
Yeah.
So that was my choice. I thought we would do a green like that for the siding, do maybe our house white or maybe an soft white for the trim.
Or even a tan.
Is there going to be a Dutch door?
I don't remember on that particular
one. There will be
one.
on the Carolina, I believe.
Right. But I know that we have like other coops that have kind of like, it might be a white or you can do different color where the accent, like the trim work and the Dutch door and some of like the inserts of the window are a different color. That can always look.
Yeah. So I would love to hear what you guys think that middle coop should be. But I was more leaning towards what's trendy. And if you know what's trending, let me know. And we just got to make some decisions. And then the other thing I want to know is, people nowadays have a right to their opinion. But what is a pet peeve of mine that I'm seeing is we're becoming so divided that we're not even allowed to talk to each other. And that is what's going to kill us. And I am worried that people are going to be like, oh, well, I saw you on Fox and Friends and goodbye to you. That sucks.
We go on another TV show in the morning too, if they want to reach out to us.
Yes, absolutely. So this is why one of the things I love about this show.
And they're having a great segment for the whole week on homesteading. So maybe we should even bring some of these Grubbly.
Wait, what are we talking about now?
The overall like week-long homesteading segment that Skip's doing. I believe it's like a series.
It is.
Yeah. So. It's a perfect fit for that series, and if another TV show wants
to do something with Grubbly.
Yeah, we should bring some of their
if they want to chip in, that would be awesome.
Yeah.
I don't know if they're going to like that, Bill, but we can definitely talk about it.
And are we bringing chickens?
Yeah, so we're going to bring chickens.
We're going to have to feed them.
That is true. That is true. So we should definitely talk about that. So guys, let me know what you guys think. What color should the coop be? Are you going to say, oh my God, Matt, if you're on Fox and Friends, we hate you. No longer gonna,
I think the consensus is that whether or not you love or hate this show is that they understand that getting your product out there to a lot of people, whatever vehicle you can,
absolutely
is fine as a business.
That's what I'm hoping for.
And Skip was very adamant in that he was not political.
That's right.
This is the fun, like Today Show segment where you see new products, you see innovations, you see great American-made products.
He says when he comes on set, he's a breath of fresh air to get away from all the doom and gloom with the news, which makes sense.
Yes.
All right, so we got that, and again, be on the lookout. It's going to be live May 17th.
Okay.
6:50 or 7:50 a.m.
Which is also Norwegian Independence Day for my Norwegian friends.
Aw. We'll celebrate. Well, Matt's in New York City. We'll celebrate.
All right, so how are we doing with the audience? All right, it's getting up there. Let's go ahead and bring...
and you'll be back for the show, won't you?
What show?
This one.
You lost me.
No. I don't know when the 17th is. Is that in the middle of the week?
The 17th is a Wednesday.
Oh, you'll be back for the show?
Yeah, we'll see.
This show?
We'll see. All
right, you guys are going to have to scooch together.
Yeah, so let's scooch together.
Which side?
So
whatever side you like.
Do you like what I've done? I moved the camera back. I moved the monitor back. So I'm actually
so we can show the messy desk. Someone cleaned it up.
I came in. You had such a mess here.
Well, I had the poop bags last night.
Oh, my gosh.
Yes, and Elizabeth said that you're just so happy that there's not like bags of poop all around you today.
I know. And I had so many people sniffing those bags. They're coming along nicely.
Where are they?
They're at home.
Oh,
good place for them.
Instead of the poop bags, I brought something else.
All right, just scooch together.
What did you bring?
Food.
I see you brought banana pudding.
Yes, I have so many eggs. I used 8 eggs to make the.
Oh, perfect! I can't wait. One of my favorite desserts is banana pudding. Can't wait to try that out
for everybody.
All right, so guys, today we have Patrick and Sean, owners of Grubbly Farms, if I understand it correctly, and they're gonna come on, and we got some questions for them. But I want them to talk about what they do, what they sell, and why.
And how they started.
Yes. So what's going on, guys? So sorry about that. We had a little snafu at the beginning of the show. And no, there's not a black cloud up there. I don't know why it cuts that off. So here we have...
Scoot over.
Okay, I've scooted over as far as I can.
Okay.
To make sure. So we got Sean and Patrick from Grubbly Farms. How you guys doing today?
Hi, Sean and Patrick.
Doing very well. How are you guys doing?
We're doing very well.
Doing well. Sorry about the rough start this morning, but I thank you so much for being here. Where are you guys sitting right now?
We're at my house in Decatur, Georgia.
Decatur, Georgia. Are you guys originally from Georgia?
I'm born and raised here, and
I've lived here for 25 years, so effectively.
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha. Now, how do you guys know each other?
We're actually cousins. We're related, and only 11 days apart, actually. So we're roughly the same age. We lived, once I moved to Georgia, we lived a mile away from each other. We've lived together on and off throughout our entire lives. So, yeah.
Okay, well, thank you so much for being here. And then, Ingrid, can you go to the website? I'd like to show everyone, share the website for Grubbly Farms. And so, Patrick and Sean, how in the world did you guys start a business that is... Are you sharing it? Hold on, we're going to bring it up.
Give it to Give me a second.
Okay.
Click, click, click.
Well, I could have done it.
I didn't want you to do it, okay?
So grubblyfarms.com. Tell us, please, tell our audience what Grubbly Farms is.
yeah, so Grubbly Farms developed sustainable pet food specifically for pet chickens while utilizing what is called the black soldier fly grub. I will say most people don't have never heard of that insect, which is more than fine, but it is native to North America. It was spread around the world during World War II, and it's considered grass, which means generally recognized as safe, as it doesn't bite, sting, or transmit any known disease to human. But the most important thing about it is that it actually has the optimal nutritional aspect for a wide variety of pets, and hence why we jumped into the pet chicken market.
How long have you guys been doing this?
So we founded Grubbly in about mid 2015, but it took us a while to really kind of get our footing and really started to break into the chicken market in 2016, 2017.
What is the inspiration behind what you guys are doing? I see, we just brought up the website. I see the mission statement. I see there's a lot of content explaining why people should consider feeding, in this case, we're going to talk about the chickens, the soldier fly larva.
Yeah, it really came down to the sustainability element. We kind of founded Grubbly almost on accident, in the sense that we read an article about what the future of insect farming could look like. And at the time, we had never heard of anything like this. We did not study entomology or biology in school, but it was really the opportunity to jump into a newly emerging industry. And we wanted to be a part of it. Very high level, the insects are raised on food waste that is diverted from landfills. As they eat through the food waste, they convert it into a quality fertilizer. And then once mature, they're processed into fats and proteins that can be used in a wide range of animal feed. And that actually got us started by breeding flies in our college laundry room at Georgia Tech.
Okay, so the soldier fly larva. Explain to us why that's the benefit in this case for the chickens.
Yeah, so there's a couple different reasons why it's beneficial for the chickens. I guess starting off with their life cycle, the flies themselves do what flies do. They fly around, they mate, they lay eggs. When the eggs hatch, they're small as a pinhead, and they grow about 20,000 times. 20,000 times. They grow a lot over more or less a 10-day period. And they're able to consume about twice their body weight every single day. And the reason why I bring all this up is because the flies themselves don't actually eat. The flies only live for a couple days, and their sole purpose is to mate. And so what makes a grub so nutritious is that they have to consume all the food and more or less store all the energy and nutrients that they're going to expend as flies in their larval or grub stage. So that's what makes the grubs so nutritiously dense and packed. But in addition to just being very dense, nutrient dense, they're actually they have about 50 times as much calcium as mealworms. And as we all know, particularly for layers, the eggshell is about 95% calcium. So that calcium is super important. They also have the optimal calcium to phosphorus ratio. So it's the 3-to-1 calcium to phosphorus, which is crucial for nutrient absorption for chickens. In addition to that, they also are rich in great amino acid profiles for chickens. So they're high in lysine, which is crucial for feather production. And then they're also high in methionine, which is crucial for more or less for all animals to get. And what is really cool about that methionine fact is methionine is actually one of the only amino acids that's allowed to be synthetically produced and then put into organic feeds. And the reason being is it is so rare in nature, particularly more or less it's not even existent in plants, I believe. And so the grubs are one of the highest naturally occurring sources, or black soldier fly grubs are one of the highest naturally occurring sources of methionine.
I am dying to know. So I went on your guys' website yesterday doing some poking around, getting ready for today's show. And one of the things I wanted to know is, tell us the difference between, we're looking at right here, the hometown harvest or the world harvest.
Yeah, so we work with producers around the both domestic and international. And really the main difference there is just where they're sourced from. You can see there is a slight appearance change from the hometown harvest to the world harvest, and that largely comes down to the different drying methods that are used. However, the nutrient density for the grubs themselves are very similar. And I will say we are very picky about the insect producers and farms that we work with, where all of the farms basically grow their bugs to EU's pet food standard, which actually has a higher pet food standard than the US. So the grubs have to be grown on pre-consumer food waste that's limited to fruits, vegetables, and grains.
Yeah, and I can tell you, I'm sorry to interrupt, Matt, but
You're
I can tell you, I've been buying Grubblies since 2017, and you couldn't find at the time. You couldn't really find anything that was grown in North America. Almost everything almost everything was China, just like the mealworms. So I gravitated towards Grubblies for that reason, and then I have also bought the World Harvest as well. And I think I was talking to asking Sean and Patrick before the show, and this particular one was in South Africa that it was grown. But I mean, my chickens love it, and they don't seem to notice a difference. And you can just see the quality, because I will admit that I have bought other black soldier fly larvae, and the chickens consistently eat Grubblies. And I'm not just saying that because you guys are on the show. I really believe in this company, and I'm a firm believer in supporting companies that do good and care about how they get their product. So.
Yeah, we love entrepreneurs and made in America, so this is fantastic.
Yeah, I know.
And of course, we love chickens.
I know I was growing stuff in college, but it wasn't soldier fly larva, that's for sure. So I think you put it very generously, but I'm sure a lot of people are thinking it. And actually, I think someone just made a comment asking why it looks different. I know you touched on it, but I see a huge difference between the hometown versus the outsourced, the world harvest.
Yeah. So it really comes, like Sean said, it really comes down to the drying methodology. The grubs are nutritionally effectively identical. They're obviously a little bit more, the world harvest are a little bit more dense because they're like flatter and crispier, but it's the same bug, effectively the same product. It really just comes down to how it's dried. That being said, we actually are going to be changing the dryer for the world harvest. So it is going to be more or less indistinguishable or very similar in terms of texture, size, density as the hometown harvest grubs.
Is there going to be a sacrifice on the nutrient level when it comes to the live larva versus the dried larva?
There's, I guess, not a nutrient sacrifice. It's really just removing the water weight when it's dried. The way that these grubs are dried, it's really with low heat, so you're not destroying the proteins or anything like that. So it really comes down to just the texture, look, smell that people prefer, and we found that people do prefer the more puffy, golden colored grubs rather than the darker, crunchier grubs.
Yeah, I know. If I was a chicken, that's what I would want to eat.
The juicy ones or the crunchy ones?
Oh, the ones that look good. Yeah, I love the hometown ones. I see there's a lot of questions and comments coming in, so if you wanted to...
Yeah, and also I just want to mention that they started out with the what they call it, Grubblies, the black soldier fly larva, and they now do chicken food and they do dog treats and stuff. So we want to talk about that as well, because you have both like crumbles and pellets. Is that correct with the chicken feed?
Correct.
Yep.
Yeah, we started off, as you said, with the snack line or the treat line with the Grubblies, and that actually largely came down to the legal approval process with the USDA and the FDA. that at the time you could not actually use soldier fly grubs in chicken feed. And then once that approval actually went through, we were able to launch basically the crumbles and the pellets with the fully formulated chicken feed. So that also is kind of following suit with other animals. We're right, this is still pet chickens, but as we kind of said, the actual health benefits from the grubs does offer a pretty wide range for a wide variety of animals. So we do hope that as we continue to move into the future, we eventually become an omni-pet brand.
That's great.
So Darshell asks, she doesn't know if she missed it or not, but are the crumbles and the layer pellet products organic?
They are not organic. They are made with all non-GMO ingredients, though. There's a couple different reasons, but the grub specifically, there's no organic classification for it. The USDA has not come out with any guidelines or rules on how they would want to actually characterize organic grubs and the definitions that go into it. Aside from that, the ingredients that we use are not organic ingredients, but they all are non-GMO ingredients.
Right.
But that is something that we're looking at. So, we always do love to hear customer feedback. And if that is something the customers are looking for, we can definitely dive deeper into that on our end.
Yeah. And of course, there's so much involved in getting certified organic versus just knowing that the products use organic principles and non-GMO. So I think that's
and your battery's about to die.
Yeah. Okay. So if I may, thank you very much. Yeah, we are having technical difficulties. Pictures freezing off and on.
Hopefully the audio is okay because it's good.
Yeah. So everyone, I appreciate the feedback, but something is definitely going on. I'm not sure if we're having an internet issue or a computer issue, technology issue.
Why'd you plug in?
We might have to have Sean and Patrick on again.
Hold on. Plug in what? What would you like me to plug in?
Just the battery.
Just the battery?
Oh, no, it says it's charging.
Thank you.
Sorry, it's a Apple product. I'm not familiar with that.
Here we go. All right, well, hopefully you guys are definitely hearing this. I apologize. We have to figure out what it is.
But it looks like it's working again.
I did up the streaming quality. Maybe I shouldn't have. And I know if I change the audio streaming right now, it's going to restart the entire show. So
audio's working, they say.
So we're not going to do that. So
I have a question about where do you get the food that you feed them? I know they consume so much waste, and that's got to be a great sideline for your business is converting all of that waste, that food waste, into a product. I mean, you're converting trash into a product that is so sustainable and popular with people's backyard chickens and stuff. So that's a huge part of the story, and I'd love to know where you get all your food waste.
Yeah, so if you were to set up a backyard black soldier fly colony, you can basically throw your kitchen scraps in there. But as you had said, when you're doing this at a commercial scale, there's commercial facilities around the world that are recycling upwards of 200 plus metric tons of food waste a day. So when you're doing it at that scale, most of these companies try to partner with large industrial food processing plants. So if you think of what would be landfilled or thrown out, it's basically taking the leftovers of cuttings or, potato peels, like leftovers of pulped fruits and vegetables, and you kind of grind it into a salsa-like consistency to get it as homogeneous as possible. Yeah, very good.
Good day for banana pudding. And is that what you use, or do you use something else?
So I guess it's, I will say we work with a bunch of farms. So, and that largely comes down to the popularity of the product and the explosion of the pet chicken market. So growing ourselves, it was pulped fruits and vegetables, and then brewery waste was actually a very popular one. But then around the world with some of the farms we work with, it ranges pretty heavily from different pulped fruits and vegetables, leftover like banana skins to potato factories, a lot of brewery waste as well. So it really comes down to kind of the region of the world and what's actually available around there.
Okay.
So I'm not sure if I missed it. Where is your company? Where is it produced? Where does it come out of?
Yeah, so I guess we're based in Atlanta, Georgia. We have grown the bugs both at a micro scale and at a large scale. And when we actually hit a point where basically our production could not keep up with demand, we actually had a very difficult decision to make of how do we how do we continue to scale? And that's ultimately where we reached out to a number of other large farms, both domestic and international. So I would say actually the majority and all of the bugs come from other partners that we work with. We had to kind of lean into what we were excelling at on the product development side. And interestingly enough, it is difficult to grow bugs at a commercial scale. You think it might be easy, but that was really a lot of the challenges we ran into kind of at the scaling that biological manufacturing line.
Yeah, and also they're seasonal here in at least the Southeast. I know all over North America. So, do you have any trouble with these? Are they grown indoors, or how do you bridge that seasonality issue?
They're grown indoors, and the farms actually look a lot more like the indoor vertical farms rather than like more conventional farms or conventional thermal farms.
So
because that's great. We want them year round.
We have a question. Yeah, couple questions. Patty S says that my chickens love Grubbly brand, but she's wondering how much per chicken per day should they have of, say, the Grubblies? Like how much is too much? I think I give too much, but I'll let you guys tell me that.
We typically recommend about 10% of the chicken's diet be comprised of the grubs. So obviously depending on the size, average chicken eats about quarter pound of food a day, so that would be 0.025 pounds of food. So a very small handful of the grubs. Again, particularly obviously from a volume standpoint, it would depend on the if it's hometown versus world harvest. World harvest is more dense, so you won't want to feed a smaller quantity by volume, but in terms of weight, it would obviously be the same. But probably like just a small handful per chicken. I typically, like when I go back out to my coop, I have 5 chickens, and I typically do like 2 or 3 large handfuls out for them.
Okay, I'm not too bad then.
Yeah. Have you ever tried them?
Too many times.
Okay, so on that note, all right, I have a question. Something I think it's very important that we talk about because
wait, how'd they taste? Sorry, is this your show?
Yeah, I thought it was, and I'm really trying to lead up to a very important conversation.
I know, but how did they taste?
A bit nutty.
It's like an earthy sunflower seed with a hint of peanut butter. That's the best description I can come up with. I actually don't think they taste that bad, but I do think a little salt and pepper or garlic powder might add a little flavor boost there.
Okay, so
that's great. That's good to know.
I have a question and a comment.
There's so much credibility just built up right there.
One of the things that I am very interested in learning is what to really believe when it comes to the environmental impact of raising soldier fly larvae for the amount of protein that they produce compared to the environmental impact. That there are two sides of this argument, and I don't know who to believe, and I love my red meat. But, we are led to believe, growing up and even today, that there is a huge impact from the cattle industry, giving off either CO2 emissions because of the methane, or it's the work that goes into raising all these cattle versus soldier fly larvae are becoming and potentially a huge solution to that potential problem. Now, trying to choose my words very carefully. I would love to hear from you guys because I imagine, especially from what I see on your website, you've done some research that you believe that the soldier fly larva could help solve that problem. I just wanted you guys to kind of talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, so the general ag, like the entire ag system, I believe makes up around 13% of greenhouse gas emissions. So it is a large factor there. There are other industries like transportation that are a larger percentage. But you are correct. I would say farming can definitely be done with any animal really in a sustainable way. We've actually worked with White Oak Pastures in South Georgia before. Will Harris has an absolute incredible story with his 3,000 acre farm down there, basically looking at regenerative agriculture. I do think the large detriment is kind of the large scale commercial farming. And it is, as you said, both a combination of raising the actual animals, but then really factoring in the entire supply chain around all of the transportation of both the animal feed and then getting obviously the product into consumers' hands. So regarding the actual insect industry, one of the real benefits of why this grub protein can be grown so efficiently is because you actually can grow these grubs in basically thin, flat trays that can be stacked vertically, which maximize the amount of protein you can output on a per square foot basis. So one of the main goals, as an example, is to replace fish meal. If you're unfamiliar, fish meal is a fish-based protein. It's derived from about 20% of the ocean's catch every single year. So the goal could be to directly replace fish meal and allow that 20% to remain in the oceans, as we have been overfishing our oceans for decades now, helping to regenerate it. Or if nothing else, allow that what was fish meal going into animal feed actually being able to be direct human consumption. So there are a wide variety of different benefits here. I think a lot of people have also questioned, is edible insects, what does the future of that look like? Personally, I think Western society has another decade or two before that really catches on, which I still think it could. You look at sushi when it was first introduced, it was grotesque. Now it's a delicacy. But that is one of the reasons why we started in the animal industry. We think that they're going to be the earlier adopters for Western society. And really the other thing that people need to understand is how large the agricultural system is. Like, even with some of these problems, this is not an overnight switch that you flip and everything is corrected. It takes a while to build out all of these large facilities. And, even 10 insect facilities is barely making a scratch in the entire agricultural system. You'll need thousands around the world to really start making that positive impact and the dent. And, we're trying to do our part to encourage that adoption.
Mm-hmm. So the reason why, sorry.
I was going to say, another thing to take into consideration, particularly when it comes to cattle or pork, is just the inputs versus outputs. So, for example, fish and poultry, it could be anywhere as much as 2.5 pounds of feed, or as low as 1.5 or like 1.7 pounds of feed for 1 pound of meat. Whereas cows can be up like 20, 30%, or 30 times the amount. So 30 pounds of feed for 1 pound of cattle. The grubs themselves are also, wholly edible, whereas we do use for probably all parts of the cow, whether it's going to meat meal, bone meal, blood meal, whatever. But there's only like 40% of the cow that's actually like used directly as like food for humans. The other part of that is that the grubs are also grown off of waste. So it's a waste stream that would otherwise go to landfills, where it would break down into methane gases, something in common with cows, that has its own detriment to the ecosystem. So I think the other part of what makes grubs so good for the environment is that we're taking a waste stream that would be negative on the environment and then putting it to something good.
Okay, so real quick. So thank you so much.
That methane is a huge contributor.
Supposedly.
Yeah.
So when I start to research this subject, it is incredible how, especially nowadays, you don't know what to believe anymore. And what I'm asking people, and why I love to have this show, is just try to do your research, do some common sense, or use some common sense, I should say. But one of the things that I love about business is it's our job as an entrepreneur to solve problems. And that's ultimately what we do. And we have to figure out today what people are going to buy tomorrow. And I will put money on it, and if not already happening, our food will be printed. We will go to order a pizza, but it's not going to come to us fresh from a local pizza shop. It'll be printed for you. And
that doesn't sound tasty.
Well, I'm just saying this is where it's going, and I'm not saying it's good or bad.
But neither does a grub.
But the future, so yeah, and everyone right now is like, I'm never eating grubs. I wouldn't want to either, but I'll guarantee you, and I'm not sure, maybe 10, 20 years, who knows, that we will be growing some source of protein, and they're doing it with cells right now in a lab to grow that protein so they can print it. So my question to you guys is, have you had that conversation? Are there people behind the scenes coming to you guys talking about that type of subject in that future?
Short answer is yes. I think, as you said, this is a very hot topic in today's day and age. And I think a lot of people are trying to figure out what the next couple of decades are going to look like, as far as, I believe, the population's expected to hit, I think 11 billion by the year 2100. And we need to increase our meat production by, I think it was even 70% by 2050. I'm not even sure what the statistic is, by 2100. So I do think there's a lot of questions around kind of the lab grown meat or the cell cultured meat. One thing that we like to pride ourselves on is utilizing this insect. We've basically taken what Mother Nature has perfected over thousands of years and basically just grown that into a manufacturing sense. But the bug itself, we jokingly say it's not the alternative protein, it's the original protein. I think that meat can, like other animal meats, can still be consumed in proper, levels. But that really ties into, our main goal is really looking at how do we feed these animals in a more efficient manner. And just as an example of that, I believe it's the majority of land cleared in the Amazon actually goes toward growing feed for livestock animals. So it's really looking at, if we can grow this grub protein around metropolitan cities using food waste from processing facilities, it's kind of cutting down on that transportation cost and really trying to create more localized level of food production around cities, which I think is actually going to make a larger impact on the environment, because transportation is such a large factor there, just across the entire agricultural system.
Mm-hmm.
So do you guys think one day we'll be printing soldier fly larva protein and making our cheeseburger?
Maybe. I would say it's unlikely that the soldier flies would be printed. Again, there's reasons, in my opinion, that people would still be growing them for maybe not as food source for humans or food source for food that becomes for humans, but another just really unique thing about the soldier flies is that they can eat any type of waste. It doesn't have to be food waste. So when looking at animal waste or human waste, even, like that becomes a viable option for recycling and actually neutralizing a lot of the bad stuff that comes with it. The grubs themselves actually have a natural antimicrobial property. So I don't remember the stats because we read them early on in our career there, but something about like eating through waste, it reduced the E. coli count by like 90% or something like that. So they can be used for other reasons other than just food for humans.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, and that is such an important point. That's one of the reasons why I love chickens. Is especially here in America, in the States, we waste so much. We do. We're fat, we're lazy, we're wasteful, we're idiots. And that's what's causing so many of our problems today. And then
for yourself.
Well, really.
Okay, that's why I promote and I brag about you all the time. Because what I see happening is we are going to start arguing about our food. I mean, we already are, if you really think about it. And we're screwed if we can't start to have an open mind. And I'm not saying I promote soldier fly larvae for printing meat, okay? But we need to be mindful of the things that are going to happen in the future and why. And we just, even if the environment was perfect, which we all know it's not, we are just dirty, filthy animals out of convenience and laziness. And why not have the opportunity to have, it's one of my favorite things about having chickens, is that chicken bucket.
Yeah.
Okay. Going out there and seeing our scraps be recycled. Okay. And, I have to, I'm a father. I have to tell our kids all the time when they're not finishing their meal, it's like there are still so many people on this planet that would die probably for those chicken scraps. You know what I mean? When we really step back and think about the big picture, it's sad. And as an exterminator for many, many years, I love the world of insects. I got to learn so much about the good and the bad. And the thing about soldier fly larvae, exactly what they're talking about, is you can feed them your waste. And whatever you're feeding them.
And then you can feed them meat too.
Will go into your chickens. Whatever goes into your chickens goes into you. Yeah. So I love this in so many ways.
Have you, either one of you, ever had chickens?
I have a flock right now.
Yeah, he says he has. He said he had.
Yeah, and we actually had a company flock for a few years as well, but that was at our manufacturing plant, and when we got rid of it, we had to rehome the chickens.
Oh, okay.
So we had a question here, and it's something that I have a worm bin. Well, actually, I have 2 worm bins at our house, along with a bunch of compost. But we like the worm bin for throwing a lot of our kitchen scraps in. And we had red worms in there, and I noticed that we automatically started getting black soldier flies. And so I immediately went on the internet to say, like, are they good together? Will they coexist? And turns out they will, and it's fine. But so Melinda asked, can you double your bug benefits by raising? She said earthworms. I have redworms, so I think they're different. And black soldier flies in the same system. So.
Yeah, so I will say I probably need to brush up on some of the redworm or earthworm farming aspects. I would say the one potential concern would be making sure your earthworms do get enough food, and that largely just comes down to how much the soldier fly will actually eat. Right. Interestingly enough, soldier flies are also a natural deterrent for many other flies like house flies, because it's almost ingrained into the housefly that they know the soldier fly larva will outcompete the housefly larva, so they actually try to lay eggs far away from them. So I would say it really comes down to how much food scraps you're providing to them. They definitely can coexist. Actually, redworms are also actually great at further breaking down the larva frass, or the larva poop, if you will. So we've definitely seen it happen, but I would say that would be my only question or concern, just making sure the redworms are actually getting enough nutrients.
Right. Yeah, because they're like the fish thing. It's like you need they grow with their environment. And if the environment isn't hospitable for them, they won't continue to grow.
So, and I see we're lagging again. I don't know what is going on. So, guys, if you do hear us, I apologize. I do see something's going on, and
maybe you need to say the date and time again.
Yeah,
that's what it is.
Well, we were streaming pretty good, and then all of a sudden, when we started talking about the cattle and whatnot, I figured maybe the government or someone was starting to shut down the message. I don't know. What? It can happen. So, and I see there's a lot of questions and comments, so I would definitely want to give our audience, which I can't thank enough for being here, to be able to get those questions in for Sean and Patrick.
Did you see a spike in your business in the last couple of years?
Yes,
absolutely.
Okay.
We saw one spike with COVID, and now we're seeing a second large spike with eggflation and all the other.
There's a name for it.
Wow, that I hadn't heard that. So okay, it's following the same graph as backyard chickens in general.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and chickens, according to the APPA, which is the American Pet Product Association, it's now estimated that chickens are actually the third most popular pet in the U.S. behind dogs and cats. So
it is
great. It's been incredible to see what the backyard market has done over the past couple of years.
Okay, real quick, speaking of dogs, as you know, we have our beloved Gus here, and I wanted to just, if you guys could touch on it real quick. I know this is a chicken show, but I'm sure a lot of our fans, our viewers, our customers also have their beloved canines, and I noticed on here, and I was surprised, and I was like, well, it makes sense. We're back on grubblyfarms.com, and you have a product for dogs.
Yeah, so the product is basically a limited ingredient soft chew designed around hip and joint health. And high level, the real benefit that grubs offer to dogs is really catering toward grub protein is hypoallergenic, meaning that most traditional pets have not been exposed to grub protein at any threshold to develop any type of allergy around it. And there are a number of health benefits catering toward, lauric acid can pass the blood-brain barrier, so it helps with cognitive health, helps with heart and liver health. But the number one piece of feedback we've heard is actually dogs with sensitive stomachs, that other treats, it can cause accidents in the house. So really, that is what we're really leaning into. And I think that it really does come down to, like, we fully understand, giving a grub to a chicken is one thing. People might have some questions looking at dogs or cats, but there are actually a ton of health benefits that you can provide to your pup by using this grub protein.
Yeah, I mean, the mix of fat and protein is just really ideal for so many.
All right, now I'm going to have to buy the roomies now.
Yeah.
Now that you said that, because I have a 16-year-old and a 9-year-old, and
I thought about getting some for Gus.
Yeah,
I figured we'll see.
They love, my dogs love their snacks. So,
what's coming up next for you guys? What's big on the horizon here for the future?
Yeah, we're working on product development right now. So we're working on a couple different things. Probably what's going to be soonest is a mixed flock or all flock feed. So turkeys, ducks, geese, roosters could also be used as a pullet feed before they transition to layer. So that's one of the first things that we're working on. We're also looking to come out with like the gelatin blocks or the gelatin balls that just can provide the grubs or grubs mixed with other ingredients in a different form factor that the chickens can enjoy. So it's not always just pecking grubs off the ground. You can hang the block and they can peck at it, and it provides just a different type of stimulation. And we're also looking at doing functional mixes, just like regular mixes without the gelatin. Really, we're looking at doing like an omega-3 one so that you can boost the omega-3 content in the eggs. We're looking at doing one that supports the chicken's immunity, and probably we've also talked about doing one that will support chickens that are in warmer climates. So during hot weather, so like more or less like a summer version of Grubblies that aids with water retention so that they're not as likely to get overheated. And then we've also talked about doing a winter one as well. So that's all within the chicken market. And then we've also talked about doing additional lines of roomies, whether it be different flavors. That's one of the things we've had requested, or different benefits. So that one's a bone and joint health. We've also talked about a skin and coat, or really just anything that customers would like to see. We're always excited to hear feedback from customers.
So speaking of feedback, boy, we are upsetting some people, which isn't my agenda here. Why not be able to talk about some of the things that are going on, that are hot topics, and try to keep a open dialogue. Am I saying that right? And apparently we've upset some people. And okay, and again, yeah, it is my opinion. We in America, which I love this country, but I just feel we have gotten lazy because of convenience. And convenience of our food especially, and because it's so easy and cheap, right? Am I wrong here? That it's a huge negative effect on your health, right? Am I wrong? Is that an opinion, or would you say that's a true statement?
I agree.
Well, you know what I mean? So this is definitely not about a lecture, but this is supposed to be an educational show, and it's not that we're always supposed to agree on everything, but I see a lot of people not real happy right now.
Well, I have a question. There was a great question for Sean and Patrick, getting back to the Grubblies. Is there an age that you should start giving these, or is there an age that they shouldn't have the grub? Because they are full of protein, and I know young chickens like protein, but they're not supposed to get too much, like baby chicks, but they're not supposed to get too much calcium. So is there an age that you recommend the Grubblies, or does it matter?
We typically say probably wait 2 to 3 weeks. Let them get past like the really sensitive early time of their life, and then also you want to limit their consumption. So I probably wouldn't say do 10% for 3-week-old chicks. Like do a little bit less, because there are a lot of benefits that can come from that. Again, they're high in lysine, which is crucial for feather production. Chicks are growing out their feathers to become adult feathers throughout that the first several weeks of their life. So there are benefits to feeding them. Again, it's just more so in moderation. And again, so like instead of 10%, maybe 5%. So like a little pinch of grubs for each chick would be really good.
Yeah, I agree with that. That's just common sense. I mean, that's great common sense advice, but not necessarily common sense.
Someone asked if the cats could have the dog treats.
Yes, they can. So I will say one of the interesting things that we're actually looking at for cats. So I will say technically a dog can live off of a vegetarian or a vegan diet. I would say I personally wouldn't really recommend that, but a cat would actually slowly starve to death. They need what is called taurine in their diet, and that's only found in animal protein. And the grub is also a great source of taurine. So I actually do think where soldier flies have already been approved for cats in a lot of European countries, there are a handful of products already on the market. I believe the USDA is still currently reviewing research, looking at basically the approval for cats. So that is something that we're following pretty closely, trying to figure out when that approval is going to go through, and if the customer base would be interested in a cat treat as well.
All right.
Sounds good.
It is almost 1:00 already, and I just wanted to know: are we going to have Grubbly Farms products on our website as a fulfillment, wholesale, sell to the community.
Or we could link. I mean,
We can definitely link.
yeah,
we can talk
we can
business.
talk about it.
I will. We could definitely talk business with these guys if they'd like.
Let's absolutely have a conversation. Sean and I were actually talking about that this morning, saying like, why don't we do more with Carolina Coop?
You have some beautiful coops on your
Amazing.
website.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, it would be great. I'm definitely trying to add to our arsenal to help make it easy for people that are thinking about getting into chickens. That's my first goal, is to educate them and let them know it is easy. And then try to take it a step further and really dive in deep, even about learning about soldier fly larva and all the benefits from that. And I would love to have that on the website.
Yeah, and we're so particular about who we associate with. So, and like I said, I can attest to this for the past 6 years of using your product. So I give it the gold stamp of approval.
Yay.
My chickens do. So, and
Thank you so much.
yeah, and I mean, it's like we said, we love what you're doing. We love what your mission is, and we'd like to support that.
Great story and great product.
Yeah.
It absolutely is. Yeah, I can't thank you guys enough for what you're doing, and hopefully we'll be talking soon.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Sounds good.
Yeah,
All
thank
right,
you so
Sean,
much.
Patrick, you're welcome. Thank you for being here. You guys have a wonderful weekend.
Thank you so much. We appreciate it, guys.
Thank you.
Man. Okay, so
Let me get back to
Now,
the rough
you got to try my banana pudding.
The rough start to the show has just got me flustered. I
Yeah,
hate when we have
it'll make you
technical
feel better.
difficulties, and then I don't understand why the internet is going down.
I don't know. I was trying to get to Wi-Fi, and I kept it's just because
Yeah, see, we're hardwired. I wanted to get off the Wi-Fi to prevent something like this, or it might be that we're streaming 1080p, which is not that big of a deal, is
I
it?
wouldn't think so, but
It is raining today.
Yeah, there's that, and then I see, I don't like upsetting people, but I think it's just so important to have the conversation. You know what I mean?
Maybe we shouldn't do it while we have the interview going.
Live
though.
show.
Yeah.
Well, but it's I
Keep it-
want to
keep it
hear.
to
Listen, I want to hear.
the
Here,
worms.
here are two gentlemen
the larva.
that have taken the time to have a reason why what they're doing,
Mhm.
and whether you agree with them or not, why not listen to them? And you don't learn until you listen. You know what I'm saying?
well, one of the real futures in farming and combating climate change is regenerative agriculture, which he was saying with that white oak farm. It's
Yeah.
it's not the tilling. It's not all the things that we've been doing hasn't really been working. And there's a if people are ever interested in a great documentary, it's called Kiss the Ground, and it's fantastic, and it talks about people that were old school farmers, that's what they did. They tilled and they planted the same thing, and they tilled and they planted the same thing, and they learned about biodiversity, about not tilling, about just kind of building the soil. I mean, that's what Sean and I do. We said we didn't grow a garden, we built soil. The garden came afterwards.
That's right.
So so that really is the future, because the way we farm now is not sustainable. So the fact that they're looking into farms that use that, and just the black soldier fly that are eating on the food waste and certain food waste and stuff like that, all that kind of stuff is the future, and it is something we should support, because that if you start supporting things like that, that becomes the norm.
Yeah, I think it's wrong to not try to learn about what we may do better in the future, even if we didn't have a problem. You know what I mean? We can always do better. And I just love, even with having chickens and now being the number 3 most popular pet in this country.
That was really, really interesting.
Yes, and there's just so many good things. And I worry, I am scared to death that what's happening is we're not even allowed to have a conversation anymore. And I think it's just so important
Look
to
at
be able
this.
to do it. Yeah, go ahead.
Look how nice at Grubbly Farms. If you're interested in Grubbly, use Carolina Coops for 30% off your first order. I'm telling you, get the big tub. Like you're
Wow.
that is so generous. Thank you, Grubbly
Yes.
Farms. Thank
I
you
was
so
going to
much.
ask, I didn't want to put them on the spot,
Yeah,
but I figured I'd leave that
yeah.
up to them. I think that is absolutely awesome.
I can't even do it because it's not my first order, but that's okay.
I did post the recipe, and I don't know I don't know if it.
Yeah,
is posting.
this is driving me nuts. There is a horrible lag on our end. It
Let's
it
see.
throws me
It's
out of
on,
my rhythm.
Do you like it?
Like what?
The banana
Oh,
pudding.
absolutely,
fantastic.
absolutely.
Yeah, I liked it because it's on Southern Living's website, old fashioned banana pudding. I like it because it takes the yolks and the whites. You can make the meringue for the top. So that's
how many
why I like it.
bananas? Is that what you use the whites for, the meringue?
Yep.
Okay.
So nothing gets wasted. That's what I like about it.
And the other thing is, I guarantee you, I mean, we're already seeing it a little bit, but if we're going to be printing our food in the future, which right now, listen, sounds disgusting.
Where's my chicken poop?
It's going to happen.
Yeah, throw a bag of chicken poop.
Yeah, I'm going to let it age for another
and
week.
I'm not saying I'm promoting it. I'm just saying.
We had a few people sniff the bags last Friday after the show.
Yeah, you're not,
and,
okay. Well, you know what? I'm glad. So is it grossing you? Is it grossing you out that much to think we'll be printing our food? I mean, they're already doing it.
Some people said even just the pure bag of chicken poop didn't smell too bad.
Yeah, you don't even want to. So
what do you think about that?
I don't know. Okay.
Did you even sniff it?
No.
We do have healthy straw live. Let's call that.
Okay, yeah. So we got
and
some
the healthy straw in the poop bag is performing very well.
We got some other things to talk about.
All right. Thanks for the banana pudding.
What do you think
You're
about
welcome.
The dowel.
Yeah, I love it, and you improved it.
That's heavy duty.
Yeah.
Stainless steel
Does it need
dowel.
to be that big?
It is 2 inches, 3/8 stainless steel metal dowels. I just wanted to announce to everyone that very soon we're going to have these in stock. This is what's going to become standard for the dowels that hold the windows open.
I love it.
And should you want to replace your wooden dowels, you'll be able to buy them on our website. I don't know exactly when, but I can tell you that we finally got the prototypes in. We've tried, I think they sent us like 4 different kinds, and this is the one I like the most. And it's overkill, without a doubt. Stainless steel, solid overkill. But again, trying to make everyone happy. Yes, absolutely. Trying to make everyone happy on this planet. This is what I decided to go with. So nobody should be able to argue with it, right?
All right, we got chicken questions.
Please, fire away.
I don't. So, Jojo Jones, my chickens are 3 months old, and I have only fed them bread, lettuce, and crackers. Lots of grubs. Can I feed them just about anything at this point? How about potato skins?
They don't like potato skins.
They do not. And I question just feeding them. I don't know. Don't they need? Isn't there certain protein in chicken feed that?
Yeah, I mean, I guess they're surviving, but they may not be thriving.
Right. Bread is not even. A lot of bread isn't even good for chickens.
Yeah, it's more of a treat.
I have watched YouTube videos where people have raised lots of chickens just with compost, and they've done extremely well.
But this is 3 things.
No, I know. I just wanted to say that it is possible to not have to go buy chicken feed to raise your chickens.
I think I would recommend, if you're going to do that, at least buy the packets of vitamin. I think it's a powder, the vitamin and mineral powder that you can sprinkle on your compost and your things like that. Because there are some essential vitamins and minerals that they're not going to get from bread and crackers.
Right.
Back to poop, please.
And I could say, I mean, I believe what Matt's saying there because I know. No, only because I am going.
Sound clip.
I believe what you're saying because I am going through so much less feed now that the garden.
Oh yeah,
that it's warmer and that the garden is flourishing and they have like all these other things like goji berry and all the stuff that my blueberries that they're trying to strip bare and all the stuff that they're eating. I don't have to fill up my feed very often.
Right.
So
mine's lasting a little longer too.
Yeah. So.
Oh, and also I wanted to say that you could grow your own black soldier fly larva.
Yes.
So we can devote another show, or we can talk about that now. But that's something that I'm about to try.
Yeah, but I buy it in the bag though.
The what?
I mean, I buy like 5-pound bags at a time. So
I'm just saying that it is. They have a great product, and it's definitely something that because even if we were to grow our own here, it's only seasonal.
Right.
It's only a summer thing. So,
and I wasn't sure if we were going to bring that up earlier, or I was going to ask them if they had any tips for people that were going to grow their own, and I'm sure they would, and they probably get asked that all the time. But you did come in today with a soldier fly larva breeding contraption.
I did, yes.
You got the pod.
Yeah, so I thought we could do that. And that was one of the reasons why I moved the camera back. Hold on, please. Thank you. That's one of the reasons why I moved the camera back to make some more room. So maybe we can get into that. However, before we do that, it is already a little after 1 o'clock, and I don't want to run out of time. And I saw someone was already asking. Ingrid has, as always, done such a good job. On your screen right now, hopefully it's not lagging. If it is, I apologize. If you go to carolinacoops.com, hold on, please.
Or just go to Carolina Coops Flock Shop.
I don't want to confuse anybody.
All right.
There is something definitely going on with the internet, without a doubt.
Yep.
All right. I just wanted to show you guys the healthy straw is on the website.
I'm going to get it because I can't.
It's going too slow. I wouldn't even worry about it.
I had it there and.
Yeah. It's all right. Well, back to the show. I am going to. Oh my goodness. Are you? What just happened?
I'm just tripping.
All right, go back to the.
So, we are going to go back to the show, and I am going to fix this. I do not want this to happen again. I don't know if there was an accident outside and they broke a internet pole, but if you are interested in the healthy straw, it is on the website. What I can tell you is we are on the 3rd week of using it in the run, and I love it.
Yeah, it's good in the run.
I love it. I was really, really skeptical. So far, so good. We got the truck in.
Good.
It was a lot of straw. So please go to our website. We got the boxes in. It's ready to rock and roll. Just let us know if you want it.
Mike Trapp just bought a metric S-ton of Grubblies and
That's
Vroomies,
awesome.
and he saved $74. So thank you, Grubbly
That is
Farms.
30%.
That's a lot. I don't think anyone's ever given us that.
That is huge. That is awesome.
On your first order.
So what was the code for that?
Carolina Coops.
Okay.
One word.
And did they say how long that would be?
They didn't say, but it's
Okay.
for your first order. So they'll get a lot of new customers, and hopefully we will put something where we can work together and have it on our site, because I do like the product so much. So what do you got there, Kristen?
Okay. All right. So
Was this the pod that what was his name? Kevin talking? Carl. Darn it.
Carl was on our show a year ago or more.
Yeah.
But this is the BioPod Plus,
I think
and it's not set up. So
Fish and Matt Ryan bought this.
did he? I wonder how it's going.
Matt, just let us know if I'm
And it's
correct
not
there.
set up, so we'll just show how it comes and set it up and see how it works. So we
wow.
do have different parts and set up instructions. But
Okay, so it's not just a bucket.
and
What-
it has a self-harvesting ramp. That's really the most exciting part about it.
Yeah,
Is
because that's the pain in these things, is getting
yeah.
the little bugs that you need.
Okay, so
And he says to start with, I believe he said to start with coffee grounds.
Yes.
Has burlap, some drainage.
We have so many coffee grounds.
Yes, we do. Okay, so hopefully you guys can see this. And this is slick. Okay, this is awesome. I had no idea. When I saw the invoice.
Well, that was, and he said that there was a large one and a small one, and I said, okay, we'll do one of each. And the large one was 4 feet.
Yeah.
So this is the small
Yeah,
one.
I thought you got the large one.
It is, but I didn't bring it in because I didn't bring my trailer. It's strapped to a trailer right now.
Tell me what we're going to do. Are we going to set this up here, or are you
Yes.
going to take this home? Oh, we get to do it here?
I think we should.
All right, I would love that.
Yeah.
And this is.
And then we can give an update.
Right. Now, and I just want to make sure, and I
Is
didn't
this
mention.
the Protopod? Is that what
Yeah,
Yes.
this is protopodusa.com. They are not paying us to say this, none of that. This is just something that we wanted to try out, show you guys if it's something worth getting.
Yeah, because I think it is important to mention that you can grow your own, and we're gonna see how it goes.
Absolutely. And again, I can't say it enough. If you are a school teacher or you want to, this would be a great classroom project, right?
Right.
And I think it's just so important.
And the thing about those adult flies is you're not creating a nuisance. They have no moving mouth parts, I believe, and they only live a few days.
I see this soldier fly. As a matter of fact, one got in my house, and I was like, all right, you have to go back outside now.
Yeah.
Like, they're not nearly as annoying as flies.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
So that's important to know.
Yeah, and I'm not going to say the soldier fly larva is a pest, but I know a lot of times when we start talking about bugs and flies, an insect is only as
That
harmful.
container's going to stay outside, right?
I also got the mealworm growing trays.
Oh, no.
So we can grow those here too.
Wait, what is this?
Trays for growing mealworms. So we can
Wow.
grow
How
black
much
soldier
was
fly
that?
larva, and we can grow mealworms.
Yeah,
This
how
is
much-
the
how-
Bug Factory, the mealworm growing pod.
How much was this?
I
much was
believe
that
it
one?
was 90.
Is this your personal or is this Carolina Coops?
We can discuss who's going to pay for it, who's going to keep it.
It sounds like a re-gift.
But it is. We can open it up. But it's 3 trays where you have your breeders and growing mealworms is quite easy too. They're actually dry. You just throw in a carrot or something like that, a potato for them to feast on. There's no water. They grow in a medium like wheat bran or oatmeal, and this tray system sifts the eggs to a different tray.
Right, as the life cycle changes,
right.
They filter themselves through their life cycle. Yeah,
and that's what these tiny these little tweezers are for. But I just pick up the larva. It's not a big deal for me to pick them up.
Okay, so should we do this?
I think we should.
Right now, we're on another show.
On another show.
Yeah, because we're right.
Yeah,
it would be great as if we got another camera in here to get the different angles. We should have a camera in the ceiling that we can switch to.
Yeah, and once we get it going, then we'll have actual larva and maybe the purse chicken, the purse bantam, to.
Oh, Mike had an
sample.
interesting question, and I kind of want the answer to this too. Can a bantam raise a full size chicken?
Oh yeah.
What happens if your bantam is like
Tiny?
Well, I'm just afraid. See, my bantam is broody, and I don't think she can protect herself, or her babies. So,
well, you might be surprised. And this time of year, they don't really have to keep them. I mean, it's not freezing outside, so
I know
it's a little easier. Even when they outgrow their wings, they sleep on the
Kristen's
babies.
Kristen's trying to push them on me because I said she's like, "Is Mitch broody?" Midge broody, and I said yes, and she's like, "How many chickens do you want?" I was like, "I can't have any more." She's like, "Okay, so 2."
Bantams don't count.
That was the conversation. I was like, okay.
Laura's asking, are the T-shirts on the website yet? I know you talked about it earlier, but
soon.
Oh my God, the look I just got from Ingrid.
I'm working
She
on
needs the
it.
information.
Yeah, Ingrid, there's so much going on. Very soon, our products are going to be on Chewy, right? Mm-hmm. I think we just got to sign off on some paper, and that's going to be huge. We got our products on
I'm working on it.
Awesome. And, of course, I want everyone to buy directly from us, please. But there is a method to our madness and everything we do.
Okay, so JoJo said that she feeds them chicken feed as well. So,
Oh, okay. Well,
so
no wonder they're okay.
So
that's great.
I don't want to bash anybody. I don't want to tell anybody they're doing something wrong because we're all just trying to get along.
Doing the best we can.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. All right. So I'm just going through the questions and comments right now, and I love how much the audience talks back and forth to each other. I love that we've started our own little community over here, and hopefully we can keep it growing. And I apologize. I like to pride ourselves on our internet quality here because we do pay for a very high speed. So I'm beginning to wonder if it's something to do with the computer. We might be due to get a new one
with a bigger monitor, so I don't can see.
I would consider that. Absolutely. Absolutely.
So, yeah, and I also noticed that Matt Ryan had a question about giving a broody hen day-old chicks. And did you hit your microphone, Matt? You should know better.
I'm going back to bed.
All right, then I can go home?
No.
Okay.
You have a napping spot under your desk.
I'm telling you, I don't have these
Like
days very
George.
often, but I am one of those days everything is just fighting.
Anyway, so Matt had a question, and it seems like the group answered it before we could get to it, which is great. Yeah, you can use the brooder. You can use the egg hutch as a brooder. You can give them food and water in there. They might bring the babies out to the run. There's no telling. Ask Misty. Misty's going through growing pains with.
So I just got an idea. You know what we should do? We should do an actual video putting the soldier fly larva biopod together. Maybe not doing it live because it's so hard to do it live.
Yeah.
But actually,
Well, that's kind of boring
produce,
too. We're just putting together.
It
parts.
is. We can do a produced video, and I think the kids would love to do it.
And I think it's great to have here because when people visit the chicken coop you have here, they can, or somebody can give them treats.
Yeah, I forgot to mention one of the best parts about doing the thing at Fox News. The Carolina coop that we build, that we have to take all the way to Fox headquarters, it's coming back here, and that's going to be the display coop for the
great.
Carolina coop.
What about the
And the same thing for the California coop.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So, see there.
Unless we sell it along the way.
No. No. The American, I thought about
No.
raffling off the American. There might be some people that are like maybe huge fans of Fox News and are like, oh, if we got everyone to sign it and we raffle it off for a good cause. I don't know. There's things to think about.
Well, we have some causes actually slated if you're going to.
We have what?
Well, we have other like causes that people were working with for things too. So I mean, I don't know. I'm just saying.
And Bruce Fahey says that he's been using that, and the collection is awesome.
Oh, the protopod?
Yeah.
Yeah, and the chickens go nuts. Yeah, so let's do a whole video on that.
The nice thing is when the larvae are ready, they self-harvest. They climb up a ramp and fall through a hole into a bucket. It's okay. It's okay. And
I can't
you know
win.
that's what makes it so easy is you just throw everything in there, and they self-harvest. Yeah. So it's good fun, good family fun.
We have the two worm bins, and they're very expensive worm bins. But the reason why I forget what they're called too. But you can, because when you try to get the worm castings. It's very hard because you have to like sift through all the worms. Normally, you'd have to pull out all the eggs and you pull out the worms and stuff. But because this is in these layers, you've seen our worm bins in the back there. You can just pull out the tray, and you pretty much all just have like the castings.
That is nice. I think there's beehives now like that, or we can talk about beehives another time. But some like almost self-harvesting beehives now. Mm-hmm. Some great innovations there.
Yeah. Things that just make it easier to do these things, which are just great things to do.
Right.
That's all.
And they just make things easy.
So we love our worm tea and our worm castings.
I'm scared. See, I'm scared to touch it. I wanted to go and see. At the beginning of the show, we were asking people for their opinion on maybe what colors are trending, what color we should do for that chicken coop, and people were answering. And I didn't get a chance to see the answers, but I was just kind of curious if we were to go back to that. If you didn't catch it in the beginning, we were going to have a coop on national news that they're going to be talking about, actually 3 coops, and I'm not sure what color scheme we should have on the middle coop, the American coop. And I thought the answer should be what's trending. I just don't know what's trending.
Somebody did mention what the Pantone color of the year was. I think it was some kind of magenta.
Pantone?
Pantone is the like paint color. Like every year they have a new color of the year. But I don't know if you want a magenta coop.
No, I don't think we do.
What they called.
Yeah, flow hives. And they do work. See, I was told, I tell you again, mixed answers on that. I really want to do bees. I can't wait till we close on the farm down here. And that's one of the first things I want to do is start raising honeybees. And I love the idea that it just, the comb, the cell just goes like that. And then the honey just starts, and I believe the advantage to that is you really don't disturb the bees.
Right.
So to me, that makes sense. And of course, it's going to be a lot easier.
And they can use what's in there to rebuild without having to do it from scratch, I believe, or use the existing infrastructure in there to just fill with honey.
May 17th. I had to think there for a minute, and we're lagging again. I'm done with today's show. I apologize so much about the lagging. It's so frustrating to me, especially when we work so hard on this. But guys, I can't thank you enough for having patience with us, getting through this show. And next week, do we have our agenda already for next week, Ingrid?
Yes, we have Bethany.
I'm excited about that.
Is coming next week.
Into the mic.
Bethany is coming next week. She will be talking about bullseye gardening with chickens, how to keep your chickens out of your garden.
Where is Bethany right now? That girl is all over the country. Did she say if she'll be?
I haven't touched base with her.
You can ask her next week.
Yeah, but
where are you, Bethany?
Her website is Environmental Harmony, so check her out. And then after that, we have the people from First Saturday Lime on May 12th.
That's another product that a lot of people ask about, talk about. So that'll be a really good show.
I'm trying to listen to the people. get the guests.
No, you're doing a great
that the
job.
people-
Yes.
And I'm trying to find the name of my worm bin for Elizabeth, and I see a picture of it, and it doesn't say the name, and I have no interwebs.
Darshell says just start drinking, man. I really think I should. That'll change everything. All right, guys. Well, listen, thank you so much for being here, and
Yes.
we will see you next Friday with Bethany.
That's going to be a great show.
Yeah, our horticulturalist that we've used out on the job site, where she loves to talk about and educate about bullseye gardening, the companion planting, and all that. So definitely be a great show. You guys have a wonderful, safe weekend. Later.
Thank you.